Hello everyone and welcome to... And we're back in Transport Fever 2. Sadly, as you can see, this says mission 2 of 6, so I'm going to be re-recording the first mission. That's because I noticed when looking over my intro video that it was really choppy in places. It looked fine on my end when I was editing and all of that, but once I uploaded it to YouTube, it did not look good at all. So the same thing happened when I recorded mission 1. I uploaded it and was looking at it while it was still in private mode, and yeah, it did not look good. So I've been doing some testing with my recording software, changed some settings. It looks like it's working now. We will find out here momentarily. Yeah, on to the first mission. So let me go ahead and select this and then we'll go back to the first mission.
The island of Java, America, in the midst of the 19th century. In the Nevada territory, where until recently only a handful of buffalo grazed, nowadays it's all hustle and bustle. Beyond the Sierra and near the Carson River, gold has been found. There's supposed to be loads of it. All you need to do is dig it up. Anyone who keeps at it hard enough will be richly rewarded. What a splendid opportunity.
Alright, and as you can see, there's 3 bonus tasks, which I've already gotten. And that did give me an achievement for doing that. It also gave me an achievement for completing the first one here, but we'll go in. So unfortunately, this isn't my first look at this mission, but thankfully it's just the first mission that's that way, so I'll be able to go through it a little faster than you would have seen. But again, unfortunately, the video was just completely unusable. In any case, this usually takes a while to load, so I will see you on the flip side.
Welcome to uncharted territory, newcomer. Wanna get rich? Then you're in just the right place. Gold Rush fever holds sway in Virginia City. And you lucky devil, you've won the mining rights for a promising claim in a poker game at the Red Dog Saloon. Soon, you'll be hauling out gold nuggets as big as a cat's head. Thanks to cleverness and luck at cards, you have a gold mine all your own. The former owner, a gallant saloon by the name of Susie, who plays a lousy hand of poker, already took care of the groundwork. And a practical woman, she left the necessary equipment behind too. Now all you have to do is to find the mine. Get an overview and find out where the riches lie.
Alright, so we're going to be starting off with 10 million here in the bank, so money's not going to be an issue. One thing that's really cool is it gives you some objectives over here, and that matches what's over here. And it'll pop up little tooltips and things along the way to help, but you just basically need to move the camera 500 meters. So I'm just scrolling with my cursor. Now zoom the camera in, zoom out, we're done with that. Rotate, do a full circle and then tilt. Boom.
Discover the entrance to the tunnel.
Now we need to go and click on the mine. So there we go. So you can see the green question mark here. Green. You can see the huge yellow question mark here. And that's going to be right over the mine. So we'll just click on that. I was thinking of this green check mark.
What a promising claim. Even though only a few boulders have been mined so far, that's no reason to lose heart. You'll just have to dig deeper. You ought to get hold of some solid timber from the nearby forest, so that the fine shaft doesn't cave in. The beams will be excellent for stabilizing the tunnel.
Build a station where the horse carts can be packed with logs.
Alright, and so this part is just going to be, guiding you step by step through it. Tell you exactly where to put things, all of that stuff. So we do the truck stop first. Oh, that's the tram. We need the truck stop. It does help to grab the right one.
Explain to the sort of thick-skulled driver which route he should take.
Now for me, I use the shortcut of the L key for the line manager. We'll do new line. Now this is our first game. It's part of the tutorial. The missions don't really need to rename the lines, but I always do anyway, just out of habit. So I use TR to say when it's a truck, T for train, and you know, things like that. So S for ship, you know, whatever. We'll get you those as we go through this. And then this is going to be in, I believe, Virginia City was the name of this place. Something like that. I'll find out here in a second. And this is going to be the planks going to the mine. Right, and it's going to go from here over to there.
Now, there's got to be a small depot to park the horse-drawn carts, too.
Next up, they want us to do that, and I'm just verifying we are in Virginia City, so that was the correct one. So the depot is over here, the tram depot is on this side, and the road depot is the one we want from here.
Everything's all set. Now, all you have to do is to get hold of a cart to transport the wood.
And we only need to buy one, so we'll go in here and buy. And it does need to be cargo, so we buy the one.
A sturdy vehicle to transport and get started.
And then to allocate, I used to think you had to actually click on here, but I learned during the other video, you can actually just click on this, and it'll do everything
It
below.
won't be long before it's possible to dig deeper. Well then, good luck.
And then, of course, now we have to wait until the horse cart has delivered the logs to the mine. So that means we actually need to pass time. I'm going to put it on full speed because there's no reason to wait. And there goes the truck there, or the wagon. You can zoom in and follow it. Isn't this really thrilling? Actually, I'm kind of joking there, but this is one of my favorite parts of this game, is to just follow around traffic and watch where it goes.
Ha! Not everything that glitters is gold. Maybe your poker partner was sharper than you thought. Despite all the hardship, the mine only brings in a few chunks of silver ore. At best, you ought to get rid of it before it ruins you. Luckily, new greenhorns constantly get stranded in Virginia City, who you can peddle that confounded pit to for good money. So, you got rid of the silver mine for a decent amount. Time to invest this money in a lucrative venture. And there's an excellent opportunity. All the ore from the mine must be transported to the silver mills down by the river. A railroad that takes over the transport would be a promising venture.
All right, and while it doesn't make it obvious, we actually sold that mine for a lot, because now we have 109 million in our bank account. So we're in no danger of running out of funds at all. So next up, we want the cargo station. So into the buildings here, and this is the cargo. And then we need to, as you can see, select the variant, which is 120 meters. We switch that over there. And then use N and M to rotate, and you can do Shift N and M to do micro shifting. We get this lined up with the track like this, and you do have to let go of Shift, because Shift and then trying to click does nothing. I learned that the hard way. So let go of Shift, and we're done.
The terrain is treacherous. It requires a few very twisted curves.
So next up, one of the little tricks that you can do is you can actually click on a lot of this stuff, and it'll show you exactly what it's looking for. So we got this blue going to that blue, and then if we come over here a ways, then the green to green, and then there's yellow over here, so yellow to yellow. So we just connect them all. Again, going in here for the tracks. We only have one option for tracks right now. And we just click and drag over to the next part. And before I hit the checkbox, I always go to make sure that I've actually hit it correctly. As many times I have gone right next to where it's supposed to go. And that doesn't help. And then grab that one, go over to there. And this is an example where it's not in the right spot. So we move that to there. Okay.
Build a railroad route that rapidly transports all the ore to the valley.
All right, and so now we want the line. So once again, I hit L for the line, click on new line, and this is going to be a train again. Because it's not a passenger train, I just use T. You can put CT for cargo train or however you want to do it. I just use T, and this is going to be Virginia City, back and forth between that and I believe this was Carson City, if I recall. Again, I can update that here in a second. Carson City it was. So go on here, and now we need the stations, which are going to go from there to there.
A respectable railroad calls for a proper railroad yard.
And then once again, if you ever don't know, I mean, I can see it right there, but if you ever don't know where it is, click on that, and it brings it right up. So come in here for the building, and now we get our train depot. And you need to line it up. And there's a good spot for it.
A truly well done structure. Now it just needs to be connected.
And once the connection from the rail, that should be good enough.
It's high time to buy a beautiful locomotive together with a few freight cars.
And all this is very easy. This tells us exactly what we want to hear. We want one locomotive, 3 freight cars. And we go in there, and what do you know? We got one locomotive, and we've only got one type of freight cars. It only carries one type of cargo for this mission. And we just do 3 of these, and we bought it.
What a handsome iron horse. Time to send it on its maiden journey.
And now we allocate it to the line.
Ore transport is picking up speed. With a little luck, it'll make you richer than all the silver in Nevada ever could.
And now this is a fun part to watch the train actually come out. So look at that train. Already costing us money. So yeah, the next step is to wait until it's delivered silver ore. So we'll put this on fast forward again. We go down and grab our silver here from Virginia City.
Yes, the deed is done. The first train is rolling down the line. People are dropping everything to cheer your marvel of engineering. Don't pass up the chance to climb aboard. Give them a friendly wave.
So you can see we got our first bonus task. I'll go ahead and hit accept.
Let's have a big round of applause.
And we want to click on the train and use the cockpit camera. So that is done by going up to this little window and clicking on here.
Hooray! There's no end to the rejoicing. It's all thanks to you.
And into the tunnel we go. I like seeing this from first person view because following along in third person is really boring when you're in the middle of the tunnel. And so we finished this first side quest. Now, as you can see, when I did that, it made the entire thing disappear, but I can get it back by clicking on here. So that brings back our missions. And again, now all we've got on here is to wait until we get to the Silverworks, which, as you can see, are way over here. Right, so that's going to be a while. Go back to the train, and then I'll hit fast forward, and when we're on fast forward speed, go into the cockpit and watch it from this view. I think this is probably my favorite view when there's not a lot of stuff going on, so we don't have to worry about monitoring several different lines at the same time. This is my favorite view to see. Again, the art is very well done in this game. They've done a really great job with the graphics. And I don't even have that great of a computer. I do have a decent graphics card. Let's jump out here to the station.
Thanks to your railroad, silver smelting is moving fast and furious. Meanwhile, all sorts of fine ladies and high-class gents get off in Carson City. Make sure they don't ruin their good shoes on the muddy streets. Find out about the needs of your future passengers.
All right, this took me a while the first time that I was looking, but it wants us to look at this.
Your services are needed to the same degree everywhere in town.
And now we need to build a bus stop in each of the highlighted areas. So once again, there's a yellow, a blue, and a green. So we go in, and bus stops are right here. And it doesn't matter which side of the road we put them on for this mission. I'll put them all on that side though.
Make sure your coaches don't miss any stops.
And now we do our line. So a new line here. And this one's going to be a bus route, so I'll call it a B. And this again is Carson City. And it's the only, it's an inner loop, so I'll just put like a loop on there to differentiate between any buses that would be going to another town. For this, we're not actually going to be making any more buses than this one, so it's not really necessary. But out of habit, we'll do that. So now we want to make sure we link the stations. It's going to have that one, and that one.
Build a depot where the horses can be hitched up and the coaches can wait.
Alright, and this is the first time where they don't actually tell you where you're required to build a depot, so you can put it wherever you want. I'm going to put it over here where it's a little out of the way. I'm going to rotate that around, and we'll just put it right up here.
Purchase a few coaches with horses so that you can get started.
Alright, and once again we look over here, we need 3 horse-drawn carriages. So click on here, buy vehicles, we want passenger, and we want 3 of these. And now we want to allocate them to the line. So again, this is where learned you don't have to select anything here. If you hit this and say the inner loop line here, all of the vehicles are going to be assigned to there.
Great. The first passengers are already waiting.
Alright, and now we just need to transport 5 passengers, so I will hit this on fast forward speed again, maximum speed. And we'll see this angle shows me, yep, there is already a passenger waiting here, just one. But we can now see all 3 stops
The
at once.
Territorial Enterprise reports. A beast is up to no good in the area. According to eyewitnesses, it leaped from tree to tree, was at least 10 feet tall, had a shaggy black pelt, and enormous feet. Ask the reporter what it's all about.
Right, and before I hit accept really quick, I just want to explain, every time these pop up, I do switch the speed back down, and that's because I don't know if I'll run into any issues if I complete the whole mission before I complete the bonus tasks. So just to make sure that there's no problems, I slow everything down so I don't like overshoot a bonus mission. Anyway, there is plenty of time in this, so I'll just go ahead and accept now.
The reporter, a certain Mr. Clemens, has revealed his source to you. An old good-for-nothing by the name of Sam Hawkins. He's supposed to be in the saloon in Virginia City. Could be it means buying him a couple of shots of hard liquor before he comes up with the truth.
Alright, and now it's just following the clue, which you can see right over here. Now, the first time that I did this, I thought it was like when you're searching for the mine, where you go towards that, and then find the saloon in this case. But all you have to do is actually click that question mark.
The good man was happy to provide information. The monster got a few feet taller with each whiskey you bought him. Word has it that it gobbles up whole cows and picks the remains out of its teeth with a wagon tongue. Our informer thinks it's hanging around near the Ponderosa Ranch, if he's not mistaken.
And again, just click on these question marks when they pop up in these types of missions.
Old Cartwright and his son didn't take too kindly to your visit to the Ponderosa Ranch. Apparently, you're not the first to be hot on the monster's heels. The rancher claims that dozens laid siege to their land, but just when he was about to run them off, they hurried away towards Lake Tahoe with a paper hot off the presses in their hands.
Right, and so again, find the next clue. This must be Lake Tahoe in this game, so there we go, we're done.
The Territorial Enterprise reports. The wild man is dead. His body was committed to the waters of Lake Tahoe, where it will sink to a depth of over 600 feet. be encased, motionless in a block of ice, and shrink to the size of a small child due to the high pressure. Well, guess not much can be done about that.
Yeah, that sounds very realistic too. Don't you know, ice totally sinks to the bottom of lakes. That's why they freeze solid in the winter. Alright, so now back to this one. We've only got the transporting passengers. We still need 5 of them. It looks like we've got 3 waiting here, and we will go fast forward speed again. And there's 4 at this stop. There could already be some that have been picked up on other wagons already. And as you can see now, we're getting people at this stop. So this will only take a couple of minutes at this speed. Probably not even a full minute at this speed to get these 5 passengers done. Yep, there were 4 right there that just got up on that. And again, while this is going, there's the little wagons. You can see them from up here. Here. That's carrying 4, so when this guy makes his delivery, which I'll slow down because he's about to, this mission will be complete. Done.
Where not too long ago there was nothing more than a dreary 2-bit town, a magnificent little city now flourishes thanks to your transportation services. The locals even call it the Miracle of Carson City. More and more people want to try their luck there. Obstacles shouldn't be put in their way. Get into the passenger business. Your tickets will be the hottest item in town. Make sure that the rest of the world is finally connected to Carson City, a veritable boom town.
Alright, so now we're going to be connecting these cities, and as you can see, we still have restrictions. The passenger station has to go in this little green box, but then this blue box is where we're going to be putting in tracks, so we have lots of freedom to put it in anywhere in this little box. And of course, this Reno transport passenger station is already done, so we're just connecting it up, and you can see the tracks exist to there. So what I'm going to do is put in the new Carson City passenger terminal first, and then we'll hook the train stations together. So we want the passenger terminus, and we can hit it over here. Looks like we do have to destroy a building at least, but there we go. And now we want the tracks, and the tracks are something that when there's a lot of terrain differences like you can see on here, then you don't really want to go too far. And I want to actually see if I can lower it. It's not going to let us. It is sloping downward, but let me get it down to about there and save. And now that I'm at this level, it should be cheaper to go straight. We need to tell it to go ahead and level back out. So actually, we want to get this up a little bit because that's digging into the ground, as you can see. That it really went a little too far down on this one, but that's okay. We hit this, and we want to make sure that this is level. So this tells you the angle, and from this point on, I think this is relatively flat, so we won't have too much. It does go up a little through here, and see, because it's building up. So do that. I just don't want to make a very long section of rail, because then it gets really expensive really fast. If you're doing smaller distances, then you can keep it more reasonable. I don't really want to go over about 50,000 on a single stretch. And like here, I want it to go down, but nope, that'll go too far into the ground. So we're just going to have to deal with it on this. This part though, yeah, the terrain on here looks a little sketchy. Let's see if we back this up to here, go back to level. I mean, we have 107 million, so it really doesn't matter that much. But in the game, when you're playing it yourself, we want to make sure not to do too much more than you have to spend, right? So let's see if we get this down. And again, we want this back up to level. And that just keeps digging into the ground, so we want to go up a little bit then. And you can kind of see down at level it's 104,000. If we go up, it's only 47,000 because it doesn't have to do as much with the terrain, right? So that's kind of what determines how much it'll cost. This will be more, so we'll put it there. Anyway, like I said, we have 107 million at this point, so I'm not going to worry about this any longer just because I do want to get it done. And we'll just connect it up to here. Make sure that is connected on there. And it's probably going to be fairly decent.
Buy a train arrangement that brings people from all over the world to Carson City.
Alright, and once again, now we can put the depot wherever we want. There's no restrictions on it. So, I guess you put it down about here. And you're going to want it at an angle. Scoot back just a bit. And then we want the tracks. Actually, when it's on this side, as I'm thinking, I want to angle that direction so it goes to that station first. So we'll bulldoze this really quick. And we want it to be tilted this direction instead. Not a big deal either way, but again, when we have this much money in the tutorial, I can afford to experiment, make mistakes, and then come back and fix it. Alright, so we got that. Now we just need a locomotive with 3 passenger cars. So we got our locomotive and the passenger cars. We want 1, 2, 3. We'll buy that.
Time to inaugurate the line from Reno to Carson City, the town built on silver.
Alright, and now we need a new line. So this is going to be a passenger train from Carson City back and forth to Reno. And I put Carson City first because alphabetically it comes before Reno. And again, this is just to keep me organized. For this, we don't really need to do it because the mission is so limited, but it will make a lot more sense. Make sure you do this once you're doing a real, like, full-on sandbox game, or things can get really confusing really fast. So here we go. And then we allocate this going to Carson City, Reno.
We're off and running. Everyone is dead set on riding your beautiful railroad.
Once again, we can wait for the train to come out.
There's firewood up in Glenbrook. Get the steam engines in the silver works puffing real nice. But watch out that you don't cross paths with the Cartwrights from the Ponderosa Ranch. They're not the kind of folks to tangle with.
Alright, and this is going to be our 3rd mission.
You barely got away from the Cartwright boys. Now get a respectable load of logs down to the valley as fast as possible before the ranchers come back again.
Alright, so again, we're going from this ranch here down to this timber supply. Now we've already got a truck, depot cargo station, I guess, that is connected to this. So we only need to worry about this end. The other thing is, it doesn't tell you how many logs are needed. I think 1 car is sufficient, so we don't need to build a lot of stuff in here. We do need to have a truck station that makes sure that this is in the catchment, and you can actually be fairly far away from this. As you can see, clear down here, still part of the catchment, even going down to here. I personally don't like it being at the very, very edge because I've had bad luck in the past where it has actually not been in the catchment even though it looked like it did. So I'm going to put it probably up closer to here. And then we just need to go down to our depot. Actually, before we do that, let's do the line. So this is going to be a cargo line. So new. And this is going to be a truck. And this is going to be Carson City planks going into town. So let's call it that. And we want, reselect this. Now we want, it's going to be this station and this one. And now that the line is created, I can come in here. We only need to buy 1 of these and then allocate it to the planks to town line. And then that's going, so we got the train going, And then zoom in here, grab this vehicle, put it up here, and now I can go on speed 3 again. And then kind of watch them up in here. So we need to get 20 people to Carson and 20 people to Reno. And we just need at least one round trip with this cart, getting logs. I don't even know if it needs all 4 logs, or if just 1 log in there would be sufficient. But there should already be logs getting produced over here. As you can see, there's already 14 on this. It's not like Transport Fever 1, where a lot of the times you had to get a vehicle out to a station for it to realize that the line was connected. Here they've done a really good job. It's already producing the lumber that we need, and then it'll just take it right in. And I think 1 load is going to end this 3rd mission, and it would give you the achievement if you don't already have it, like I have. And then we just need to wait for enough passengers to go through. And you see on here, it still hasn't picked up any in Carson City. And I don't see any waiting here. Oh, we just got our first passenger waiting. So I'm thinking that we're probably going to need to do at least 3 round trips to get enough. It really depends. The game's kind of random. We might get enough passengers to get 20 on there, but the train holds 42. It could do it in theory with 1 trip each direction if there were already passengers waiting. As you can see, there's only 1 passenger now, 3 passengers that are going to be wanting to go to Reno. And this will keep going up. As you can see, it is already going up. So we should be okay once that's ready to go. Like I said, maybe 3 round trips to get it done. This will be finished as soon as this... We got the autosave going. This will be finished as soon as this wagon arrives at the depot. And if we scoot back a little bit, I should be able to see the icon for it. Those are the regular bus ones. There it is there. So this is where it is on the map. And here comes our train in here. And they'll pick up 6 people. This is about to drop off here.
Thanks
And there we
to
go, we're done
supply,
with this.
Silver ore processing is running at full swing, which means your transport business too.
Okay, so we're done with the extra missions. I'm going to go ahead and jump into this view, because this is all that we've got left now. And you can see down in the lower left corner of the screen, we can see we're carrying 6 people right now. So we don't even need to look at anything. We can just follow this view. And yeah, you can see how the terrain on here was pretty poorly done by my laying track. This is way above the surface. And in a sandbox game where I'm paying for it out of my funds, I would be far more careful to make this a flat, level railroad track for as much as I can. But again, in this one, it really doesn't matter. As we're coming into Reno, we can see there are people waiting. Let's see how many there will be. So first we get rid of those 6, and we got 18. So we're this close. We're just under what we needed in order to get all of Carson City at once. So we're going to need at least 1 more trip from Reno to Carson City, and depending on how many people we pick up back at this station, we've only got 8 people waiting, so there could be another trip back. It depends. If we can get 14 there by the time this train arrives, then that will be the final trip that we need to have completed from Carson City to Reno. And actually, we're up to 11, so there's a good chance that we've got this. Because at this point, this is the last part of this mission, and it's just a matter of how many trips do we have to take before it's complete. We've got enough now, so we will be able to end this mission after we get back to Reno, and then take the final trip from Reno to Carson City. So basically 2 legs left. Alright, so we got our 6 people in there, plus however many are on the train right now, which we have 17. So that will end this, and then our return trip. We should definitely have more than 6 people in the terminal over here. It's got 2 icons, so yeah, we got 16 over there already. And we can hold up to 42. We could actually have... It's already got the 17 that we're carrying here. We could actually get up to 42 people. It usually takes a couple of trips before the station's actually as full as the train can carry. So I'm thinking we'll probably maybe get 24 max on there. I guess we'll see here in a second. So got our 20. Alright, so 22. I was 2 off. That's not bad considering I'm just kind of guessing. So yeah, once this gets to the station, we will definitely be done. So I don't need to see that one anymore. We don't even need to look on there because this is it. Let's go back into the first person cam, or the cockpit cam as they call it here. I do like this music. That was one of my favorite parts of the original Transport Fever as well, is I love the music that was in that game. But yeah, looking at the way that this track dips and goes up, there's so much wasted effort and things on this track. We come into town. Look at the platform full of people.
The silver business is doing splendidly. A cluster of pathetic shacks has become the swankiest town in the whole West, where you find the most exquisite shops, the best saloons, and the loveliest ladies of ill repute far and wide. Many an opportunity suggests itself to spend those silver dollars you so richly deserved. Your railroad business is the real gold mine in the state of Nevada.
Alright, so that's the first mission completed with all 3 of these completed as well. I hope everybody has a wonderful day.